potentially here. So let's dive into this match. Alessandro's going to start us off here, going into the deck with that Nest Ball. See if surprise checking happens, and we're going to maybe see some realizations of what might be in there.
I mean, I generally don't know if you ever check for how many Arvens you prize. Like, it's definitely not the top of mind card.
But if you're looking through and like don't even see one,
I mean,
you know?
I generally, from experience, I would tell you that, like, I've had games where I prized double card EX and I didn't immediately notice it, or I prized 3 Rare Candies and don't immediately notice it. Like, of course, every person has different processes, but we also see a very interesting card hit the field. That is a Girafarig, as we are playing the Farigiraf EX in this list, so we'll have to see what or how it actually ends up affecting.
Okay, let's break down this list here, because we're seeing some interesting things that maybe our viewers are a bit confused about potentially here, Pablo, especially now we're going into a Raging Bolt EX matchup as well. So what are we going to be seeing as far as the strategy here from Alessandro setting up into this matchup?
I mean, you definitely, once you see the Raging Bolt, you know exactly what you are up against, right? However, Girafarig will allow you to evolve into Farigiraf, which prevents all damage to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's basic Pokemon EX, so it's a perfect, absolute perfect counter towards that Raging Bolt. And with the Force Seal Stone already in play, we could see lone Farigiraf honestly take down the whole game. Yeah,
I mean, there's definitely potential for that. You got to think that's exactly what Alessandro has in mind here, set up for this specific matchup. Now the question is, how is Colin Hurley-Matthews going to deal with this? Heading into this matchup and having to realize what is in play at the moment over on Alessandro's side.
I would be very surprised if Colin knew what Farigiraf did at this point. Seeing that Girafarig must have him really, really confused.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you're for the evolution.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Alessandro did attach the Bravery Charm to this Bloodmoon Ursaluna, so that's 300 HP basic Pokemon. 310 actually, so Raging Bolt will need 5 energies if it wants to take a knockout this turn, which now would be ideal, right? But that's a big ask. 5 energies on turn 1, you need Sada, you need attachment per turn, and at least double Kill Mask Ogerpon EX.
Yes, exactly. And did you get a look at the hands at all as far as what we're starting out with? Of course, Colin is going second here, so we can play supporter, and that Professor Sada's Vitality is exactly the support you want to see. Accelerate these energy out of your discard pile into the field, and then also draw into 3 additional cards for your turn as well. Teal Mask Ogerpon EX coming down, accelerating the grass energy out.
All right. What a start here for Colin. Picture perfect hand. Definitely knows what Farigiraf does, because immediately denied that Girafarig. So Alessandro does have Thorton in his hand already, so Colin's not going to be happy about that, but what a start by Colin, having the ace-spec in his hand already. Yeah,
that was huge here for Colin, taking out and taking a prize card off of that Girafarig there. Alessandro starting over on this turn. Now, we do have that Force Seal Stone that was attached to that Rotom V, and it's going to be utilized. So flipping that V-Star marker here to search out this any card from the deck. We're going to see that Rare Candy into that Pidgeot EX.
With the Thorton in hand, can just quick search for the Farigiraf. That's so hard to say, Boo.
I know,
for the Farigiraf EX here, probably switching out the Rotom. However, Colin still has 2 prize targets to go after. Yeah, that'll bring Colin down to a single prize card, but how can he deal with that Farigiraf, which Alessandro does have a psychic energy to attach to, and can actually attack with it?
Yeah, which is pretty wild to see here. But I mean, we're seeing it. So, this is what we're kind of waiting for here. Of course, this Thorton play, switching these out. You don't even have to wait to evolve because it pretty much counts as the last Pokemon it was. Yep. Incredible to see here, as you said, Pablo. And Thorton is just such a cool card. It's probably one of my favorite cards. It's not very, it's not often seen, but every time we do see it, it's for one of these super cool plays to pull out that Pokemon right when you need it to make one of these incredible plays. That's what we're seeing now. So Colin thought it was gone, but not today.
Ooh, interesting. Alessandro not going into the Farigiraf just yet. Actually, essentially baiting Colin into taking a knockout onto this Rotom. But Pidgeot, you're feeling pretty safe that you'll be able to access anything you need. And I think Alessandro wants to create a situation where,
maybe just went for the Girafarig before.
I mean, I think he might just be double-checking the attack, perhaps.
Potentially,
because Colin does have one answer exactly. The Sandy Shocks. That's the only Pokemon in Colin's deck that can actually damage the Farigiraf. Squawkabilly can't, Mew EX can't, Kill Mask and Raging Bolt definitely can't. So it's going to be a tough mountain to climb here for Colin. He needs for Alessandro to bench something, or for Alessandro to somehow not have access to energies to power up the Farigiraf.
Yeah, and I definitely wouldn't be counting on any sort of misplay from Alessandro here, but we're going to see a Pokemon catcher, and it's going to be a heads, which means that Pidgeot EX is joining us inactive now, unfortunately for Alessandro. And I mean, this card is huge. Any deck that can play Pokemon catcher, I mean, some people are just adamantly against ever playing Pokemon catcher, but any deck that has the room for it, it gives you some amazing plays that you can make here. Take tons of prize cards, debilitate your opponent. That's what we're seeing here as that Pidgeot EX goes down, not falling for the Rotom V traps here on the stream. Colin Hurley-Matthews getting through these prize cards pretty quick here, but now Alessandro promoting that Farigiraf EX into active.
Yeah, I generally couldn't tell how many energies were discarded. It might have been 5, so a little unnecessary over KO on the Pidgeot. I'm probably watching wrong. I could have sworn it was 5, but yeah, Alessandro just promotes the Farigiraf, cannot be targeted down, has a double 2 attached, and now all Alessandro needs to do is wait to get the psychic energy. And I think in other situations, some players might feel pressure to establish another Pidgeot, right? Bench a Pidgey as well. That would allow Colin to potentially win this game by taking prizes around the Farigiraf. But Alessandro being very patient, you know what? Fine, take the Pidgeot. Eventually, I'll find my psychic, and eventually, I'll start attacking and winning.
And winning. Yeah, a little caveat there too. I love to see it. Teal Mask Ogerpon EX, one of my picks for this tournament as far as seeing success. Of course, an ode to this Raging Bolt EX deck, but the Ogerpon EX allows you to accelerate that grass energy out of your hand onto the field as well as draw a card. So that's how you're getting these energy out and discarding them to be able to take some big knockouts here. Look at that.
Yeah, we're just gonna have a Nest Ball, probably gonna go fetch that Sandy Shocks, try to attack the Farigiraf before it becomes a threat. Now without Pidgeot, Alessandro doesn't have a great way to potentially heal the Farigiraf or even find the Psychic, so the Psychic takes a while to arrive. That could spell trouble for Alessandro, so that coin flip heads on the Pokemon catcher was actually very, very big for Colin.
Yeah, we're looking at only one Psychic too, so yeah, who knows when it's
gonna decide to show up. Exactly, the has been
Force Seal Stone's gone.
It's gonna be 4 extra cards every single turn, right? And there are 4 Arvens still prized, which is crazy to think about. I mean, if there was any sort of like energy search, or if there was any sort of Earth Vessel that would help, unfortunately there isn't.
Yeah, exactly. Earthen Vessel is a card that I've grown so fond to seeing because it's so good here. But Pokegear 3.0 going to be played from Colin Hurley-Matthews. Unfortunately, is going to be a fail. There's no supporter drawn off of that. None in reach here for Colin, so we're going to be just turning through this hand so far for the turn.
Yeah, the Nest Ball was failed on purpose. The Pokegear failed, unfortunately for Colin. So I wonder what he's planning. How does he deal with the Farigiraf if it's not the Sandy Shocks? Why isn't the Sandy Shocks in play? I would love to ask him this question right now.
Well, let's check out this Pokestop first here, Pablo.
Well,
I guess we get another chance here on this Pokegear 3.0. Put into the hand off the Pokestop for Colin. Asada going into the discard pile, though, off of that Pokestop as well. But another is able to be found here for Colin. That's going to accelerate these energy that were just discarded into the discard pile back onto the field, as well as allowing Colin to draw those 3 additional cards here for the turn.
Yeah, good trade-off for Colin. You lose Asada, you gain Asada, so
Yes.
not too bad. Now we are going to see 2 fighting energies being attached, which is what Sandy Shock needs. So I must be missing something here on how Colin is going to deal with the Farigiraf. Can use Iron Bundle to push the Farigiraf to the bench, bring that Rotom, and be able to attack this turn. I'm not sure I see it in the hand.
I think it is in the hand, actually. It's the alternate artwork one, but that's going to be not used here.
Yeah, no lightning energy, so can't attack with the Raging Bolt.
No, I mean, yeah, exactly. You can't attack, can't do anything, so you're just going to remain with that hand that you have until you can get that energy to be able to attack. Unfortunate there for Colin. You want to keep up that pace, you want to keep that aggression, but sometimes you just don't have the right energy attachments. So Alessandro back over to this turn now. Speaking of energy attachments, we'd like to see one. Potentially, but can we get there? Can we get that single psychic energy or not?
No psychic found yet. Did use that Pokestop to potentially help get closer with the knowledge of the risk that you can end up discarding the psychic. You do have Super Rod to potentially put it back into the deck if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there is a copy of Super Rod, but we'll have to see what Colin has in store for us. He's going to go Iron Bundle, bring up the Rotom, get down to a single price card, but then really need to get that Sandy Shock into play as soon as he can.
Exactly. Well, that Professor Sada's Vitality played from the hand here. That's going to get those additional energies needed to power up that Raging Bolt EX. And now, finally join in the party here, Pablo. You summoned that Sandy Shocks out of the deck here for Colin.
I generally have to wonder why it wasn't here before, Boo, and could have been discarded by the Pokestop, but now it's finally here. It's on the bench, and it can, I believe, how much HP does Farigiraf have? I think 260, so with 3 attacks, you can KO the Farigiraf. Yeah, so it's the race to the Psychic energy. The amazing issue of finding the Psychic energy here. Can Alessandro find it? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, it is going to be tough here, but maybe we'll hit it. I mean, the deck is... And still looks like there's a lot of cards in there, unfortunately, but we'll see if we can get lucky here on Alessandro's side of things, because there is the potential for it, but Colin still has this turn to play out here. That Earthen Vessel going to discard a Radiant Greninja here for those 2 energy. It's going to be that electric as well as a fighting type energy, which is needed here for Colin.
Now, I guess with Colin, you could start attacking the Farigiraf this turn instead of trying to take down the Rotom, but this will give Alessandro 3 extra cards for at least the next 2 turns to get closer to that Psychic. Now, Colin does play at least 1 copy of Super Rod.
Top deck Penny.
Yep, Penny not good here. And Colin can get back Sandy Shocks at least once with Super Rod. As we do see the Pokestop here.
Yeah, Pokestop, it's just going to be 3 discards here for Alessandro, though. Still discarding these energy, but at least not the Psychic.
Yep. The hero Sandy Shocks, Boo. This Sandy Shocks, not the star of the show, right? It's usually Raging Bolt, taking those huge knockouts, or Ogerpon as well, advancing your win conditions and your game state, but this area will help. It will get rid of 2 very useful item cards, but that Psychic energy has not been found.
You hate to see it here, but as you said, Pablo, this Sandy Shock's carrying so much weight now with that magnetic burst turn after turn here. We're even going to see this counter catcher now from Alessandro to bring that Raging Bolt EX up into active position.
Yeah, going to try to slow down the Sandy Shock's damage. That Raging Bolt does have a huge 3 retreat cost, not easy to cover, though Colin does have enough energies in hand, so Alessandro probably going to try that again next turn. Going to get 3 extra cards. Can we find the Psychic, Boo? This is huge. Yes, there is! Just in time! So can Colin identify this? Is there any body language change in Alessandro that can tell you this? And can he do anything about it even? There is a copy of Iono, but is it even accessible at this point in time? I think it's still in the deck. I can't really tell. It's alternate art cards.
I know,
might already be in the hand. I really can't tell, but there is a copy of Iono somewhere here.
I mean, it wasn't already discarded, right? Oh, it's in the prize card.
It's in the prize card. There we go. Thank you so much to production for helping us out and reminding us that Iono is not accessible. So you cannot deny the Psychic, however. As long as Colin can attack here and can get 2 attacks, right? Eventually he will find the Super Rod, recycle the Sandy Shocks, and attack once more. That could be the deciding factor.
Alessandro said, not that you need it, but just some more draws here off of that Pokestop. We're seeing that energy hit the boards now for that Raging Bolt EX for Colin. Looks like debating the bundle now.
I think now is the wrong time for bundle. It was either last turn to deny access went to extra 3 cards, or now just focus down on the Farigiraf. This would be a very unfortunate decision for Colin. He knows that the Psychic was not available last turn, but he doesn't know that it is now available. And as long as he gets the damage onto that Farigiraf, then he can Super Rod back the Sandy Shocks. But no, we see the Iron Bundle. I mean, Colin doesn't know this. We know it because we're very lucky to have this overcam, but not having that damage on the Farigiraf is going to be potentially huge if Alessandro can knock out the Sandy Shocks this turn. As Colin whiffs the Iono, the last prize card, too.
I know. That's exactly what I was about to say, Pablo. Of course, last prize card remaining here for Colin is that Iono as well. But hey, what you going to do at this point? I still don't even, I mean, there's no way you can really tell, I guess. Alessandro was remaining just steadfast there in that turn. We see the Pokestop here. Penny and a Fire Energy hitting the discard pile from Alessandro.
No. Armor Tail is preventing this Raging Bolt from doing anything, but Alessandro actually has the perfect card to deal with that Sandy Shocks. He has a copy of Lost CD. If he knocks out that Sandy Shocks and sends it to the Lost Zone, the game immediately ends. As Alessandro realizes that, I'm pretty sure you didn't know.
No, he did not know. He did not know.
Very few people will realize this.
It's valid, yeah. I mean, you really do not check for that. You just expect to hit one eventually, but Alessandro getting a nice laugh out of the Hisui and Heavy Ball, revealing those prize cards and all of those Arven in. Definitely a fun time.
Oh my gosh, and they're going to just all hide in the prizes at the very top.
It's like a group hiking trip or something right now. Well, Alessandro here, that Farigiraf still in the active position here with just that double turbo so far and that Bravery Charm on it. But exactly as you said here, that Lost City would be awful to see. Psychic finally coming down here. Not what Colin wants to be seeing here from the hands. I mean, look at how many cards are in the hands from Alessandro. I mean, you had to expect something was going to happen eventually here.
Now, this is actually sort of funny. Like, Alessandro could have used this Lumineon to find one of the Arvens to get counter catcher to Lost Zone. The Sandy Shocks, he does leave him vulnerable with that target on the bench, right? So I'm pretty sure we're going to see the Penny immediately for Alessandro. Does go for that Boss Orders. Can't directly search for the counter catcher with an Arven next turn. But yeah, we're going to see a Penny not going to take any risk whatsoever. And it's very unfortunate that Colin's last prize is Iono. If Iono was available and he could take away this humongous hand, he would probably be able to take away the Lost City that I doubt Alessandro's going to play here. But if Alessandro plays it, then maybe Colin can potentially counter it. But yeah, that Iono being the last prize might be the decisive factor here, too.
I actually think it might, and that is tragic to see here, Pablo, it come down to that. But Alessandro reading the energy card here.
Yeah, I think Farigiraf does damage to the bench, very damage, and that is definitely reduced. So it's going to be only 10 damage.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
It's only going to be 10 damage to the bench. Every effect that reduces damage does reduce it to the bench, but every effect that increases damage is only to that. That's a very important rule of the Pokemon trading card game.
Yeah, fun facts here, Pablo. You'll love to see it. So
Pablo, fun fact, is indeed my middle name.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, we finally get to see this attack here from the Farigiraf EX, the Dirty Beam, for, of course, that 160, but with that double turbo. Nerfed just a little bit in the damage here, but even more importantly, that Armor Tail is what we've been talking about this whole time, the ability on that Farigiraf EX that's preventing all of the damage done to it by basic Pokemon EX. Now, we were worried about Mimikyu and such, and now we're talking about Farigiraf. Huh?
Yep.
Ironic.
Yep. I mean, the answer to Mimikyu is the Sandy Shock. What's the answer to Sandy Shock? Lost zoning and attacking with Farigiraf. So there's no doubt in my mind, as soon as Colin sees that Lost CD, he's going to scoop up his cards. There it is. Well, I guess he's not going to, but there's going to be no way for him to deal that last attack. So that turn that Colin, like, he delayed the KO on the Rotom one turn. The Sandy Shock should be hitting the Lost zone over here.
Maybe just not realizing what.
There we go. And yeah, that way you can't super it back. You have no way to damage this lone Pokemon Farigiraf. Alessandra's obviously not going to bench anything else. I don't think there's anything that Colin can do at this point. And I mean, the Iono could have been played last turn. Maybe Alessandro would have been able to find the Lost CD. We don't know. But the big turning point of this game was the turn where Colin chose not to KO the Rotom, gave Alessandro 3 extra cards, and then he attacked the Farigiraf when it was one turn too late.
I know, and that was tragic to see, Pablo, but that is how things are going to end here between these players, at least in our game one. We're under 30 minutes now left on the clock between these players. What do you think about the stall there? I mean, I guess for Colin, you know, going back into the deck with that Earthen Vessel there, discarding a card